Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to another edition of Prime Hour on My Media Prime. We are glad to know that you have been expecting our program, and that we hope that God will give us grace to be able to deliver as planned. And we are going to start the program with two persons. I'll consider them consultants because they have been with us in the course of the week away from the Southwest region. In the presence of Suleiman Mohammed, who is of the SDF, and Larry Essong, who is the CEO of the Scoop Media Group. Many persons have actually been invited, expected to be here. We don't know whether it is traffic or because they are still tied down at the Congress Hall. Because as we speak, submissions or resolutions by the respective commissions are being read out there at the conference center this evening. We are going to be looking at the order from the President of the Republic ordering the release of 333 persons arrested in connection with the ongoing Anglophone crisis. So we are going to be freed in the days ahead, why not tomorrow? We equally are going to be looking at the expectations of the people that, according to our informations from the ground, remains very, very high as they look forward to the final resolutions that are going to be taken at the 2019 edition of the major national dialogue as called forth by the President of the Republic, His Excellency, President Paul Biya. We are going to begin our discussions with this breaking news. 333 persons are being released, going to find freedom in the days ahead. Why not tomorrow? Quite good news for the nation out there.
Yeah, I think the President has actually taken a positive step in the right direction. At least the President has he has tempered justice and mercy by releasing at least 333 inmates who were arrested all over the country as a result of the Anglophone crisis. I think we don't know who are going to be released. We don't know when they are going to be released, but the order has been given that 333 people should be released from jail, from prisons all over the country. Anglophone crisis. So I think we thank the President for that. It's a positive step. We hope that this largesse he has done today is going to continue in order for peace and stability, tranquility to reign in Cameroon. As I said, we don't know who is going to be released. We have to wait for in the following days to come to see who is going to be released. But that notwithstanding, we should still be happy that at least some good gesture as a result of this dialogue has provoked the President to release some inmates gratis, free of charge, with no preconditions attached, no financial attachment is being granted or awarded to these guys. So I think this dialogue at least has actually helped to tell us that at least those who are languishing in jail now will have their freedom. Again, as I said, we don't know who is going to go out, but I think the President has done something good, something very, very pragmatic in the eyes of Cameroon.
Okay, we are having information that Sone Bayan is caught in traffic. He's going to be joining us in the course of the program. He's journalist and political analyst. Is on his way. The traffic situation in Yaoundé is quite cumbersome. Your take on reaction on this decision by the President of the Republic to release 333 persons?
Thank you very much. Good evening to fellow panelists. Thank you, Leo, and the viewers who are always there for us. What else can one say? A very positive, I would say positive reaction, because those who were detained. Maybe I precise here that it is a discontinuance of proceedings against some 333 persons who were some 333 persons were arrested in connection with the Anglophone crisis, who were being tried at the Yaoundé Military Tribunal for offenses of misdemeanor. By the authorities. And so it's a wonderful, the number is quite interesting. I must confess that the number is quite huge, and it comes in at the right time, especially at the time the ongoing dialogue is almost ebbing away on probably getting into some resolutions. Yes, this is a wonderful concession, some good concessions that have been made. Yes, but a good step too, I must say. But still, it is. I wonder whether it is really going to drive home the much needed peace that we all cherish for. I wonder if truly it's going to really bring the peace that we need, because all along we've heard the pleas people, the cries to the head of state and the father of nation, that those who are leaders of this who are supposed leaders of Ambazonian district who have been jailed, that they should be released so that they can also join in the dialogue table. That not done now, I think we looking at, because from the precision, the letter they had the Secretary General, the Secretary General's communique, it stipulates that those are people who are they are discontinuing procedures against those who are charged with misdemeanor. So it eventually kind of out those who have been jailed. Those who have already received jail terms are not part of, will not benefit from this. We look forward to seeing whether the President of the Republic is going to, in his normal, in his usual gesture, goodwill, is going to grant mercy to those who have been jailed in the next few days. He has started. It is a good step, like I said.
It has started, and it's a good step. Sule, can we say that this ties in line with the declarations of President when he announced the Grand National? He said there is nothing that is above him, even in the course of the protest, clemency and pardon.
Yeah, I think so. The president said when he was giving his speech that to give him power to and to give clemency to everybody. So I think we should receive this thing in good faith. We should receive it in good faith and make sure that we should not agitate over it. We should not criticize it. We should just accept it. At least some Anglophones have been released, though the main actors are still in. But I feel that it's a continuous process. As this thing unfolds itself, the president is going to extend his largesse even for those who have been jailed. That is my opinion. I'm very optimistic that he's going to release them. If he can release 330, I think he can. Those who have been jailed, clemency can still be granted to them. He can still pardon them. After all, he's the president of the republic. He has the powers to do his constitutional powers to release whosoever to release. So I think with president for now, and let's wait to see how it unfolds in the following days or weeks. Maybe all other people are going to be released also. So I think the president has started fulfilling the statement he told us in his speech that he can pardon, he has the power of clemency, and now it has started materializing, it has started actualizing itself. Some people have been more than 300 and something have been released, though we don't know the number that have been arrested or detained, but at least this gesture is worthy of emulation. We have to thank the president.
Now, did you see this coming so soon? Because when the president made that decision, many people said, okay, first release. In the process of the national dialogue, people are being released. Did you see this coming?
Yeah, I saw it coming, because I know in dialogue there must be consensus. I saw it coming, but not so soon as rightly put it. What I saw thought was coming, so it was coming. I think it has fallen a little bit short of the expectation, and what would immediately diffuse and effectively diffuse the tension that is currently being experienced in the two west regions of the northwest and southwest region. As a matter of fact, I believe that the leaders, the jailed leaders of the Anglophone separatist movement, were those who have released, if they were just 10 or 15 of them were released, I think it would have been gone a long way to to diffuse the tension. It would have given some atmosphere of what we call some tempers should have come down. But if we're going by what we have here, I am not kind of undermining the great effort that the president has made. I'm not kind of undermining the gesture that he has made, which is very, very, very commendable. But at the same time, I want to reiterate on the fact that in every situation, we have certain people who are like the leaders who carry the banner of a certain situation and who are looked upon as those who probably are bearing the cat. So if this kind of people were those who were released, I'm not undermining that those other ones could have remained in prison. But I thought if they were released as at now, especially within the timing, the dialogue period, it would have done much more good, much more. Because it's done good already, but it would have been greater than what we expected.
It would have been greater than that. You followed Kawa Yannick, one of the Amazonian leaders or separatist fighters who made a submission on the day, the opener of this major national dialogue. You equally followed Commander Capture and Destroy. And today we equally had one who was, who equally cried. Can we say that the president is also responding to their pleas because they were shedding tears, asking for their brothers and sisters who are in jails to be released?
Yeah, I think it is true that the courageous stand they took to come before the dialogue to speak, lay out their grievances, and plead with the government to tamper just a message to release their brothers and sisters. I think that has reflected on the president. It has daunted on him. And now he too has done a good sign, a good gesture by compromising with what they were saying, and now he has released those that the few people, the few that he has released, 303. It's a very big number. It's a very big number. I think the Amber Boys they say when you see now the president has started acting positively, and they too they should not overreact. They should calm down themselves. They should cool down themselves. They should allow reasoning prevail. We don't know what will happen next. I think seeing their fellow colleagues taking the bull by the horn to come and face the press, the dialogue, and speak on their behalf, I think more good things are coming. At least we should fold our arms and see how it unfolds.
How very significant is the pleas made by these ex-fighters? You saw their submissions, their presentations, very powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I have to say something here and the way the significance of it, I think I want to first of all commend them for accepting to come out and face the crowd and make this, because it is not easy. You know for sure that they are haunted, most of them are haunted by those who don't even by the idea of them coming out to join or probably to speak as they were speaking. So the first thing is that I commend their courage to have mustered that courage, to have braved all the odds to be at the dialogue table, and how significant their pleas have been. I think it was really driven home with a lot of emotions. Like the first young man came there, Kawa Yannick. He spoke, you saw it, and he reiterated on the fact that what pushed them into this situation was the neglect and the absolute marginalization that was practice on them. Even you, most of them who are of useful age, they realized that they were totally marginalized. And I think the plea was very, very significant. It needed the head of state and to get into it and wade into it immediately and see to it that he acts accordingly. And so I think that the weight of their plea is already bearing fruits. The first is that we are seeing the release of some of the detainees who were supposed to appear for the military tribunal means they are crimes. And I think today, as we look forward to the resolutions of the dialogue, many things will be happening. I'm upbeat that things are going to happen, many more things.
Okay. I want to say something. Mm-hmm. When the president was in the nation, he talks about impunity. Those who went to extreme length of causing death, destruction. He talked about impunity, and Cameroon is a state of law. Cameroon is a country governed by good laws, and the law will take its course. Mr. President, we know that Cameroon is a good state of law. Cameroon has good laws. Again, since we have started Tampa Justice Mercy, and people like Sissoko Ayoktabi and the 9 others were sentenced or were given life jail imprisonment, please revisit their case, look at it with a human face, a human heart, and the milk of kindness, and Tampa Justice Mercy, and release them. I think this will facilitate the much needed peace, unity we needed in southern Cameroon of the northwest and southwest region. Please look at it with a human face, a human heart, and the milk of kindness. Why not extend to Maurice Kamto? Maurice Kamto himself, he has blundered, he has made mistake. At least for the sake of peace and stability of this country, Mr. President, we appeal to you to Tampa Justice Mercy and also release Maurice Kamto and the 68 others that were detained. He took his action. People were killed. Properties were vandalized, and he went and declared himself he has won the election. Well, while we know that in this country it is only the CPDM that was represented in all the polling stations. We also know it is the CPDM. He asked for the result to be announced, but he didn't wait for the Constitutional Council to announce the result. He went further, based with his own facts and figures at his disposal, and declared that he has won the election, which was against electoral law. I think, Mr. President, we appeal to you to Tampa Justice Mercy and look into the case of Maurice Kamto and release him for the sake of peace, stability, and tranquility in this country.
Okay. Can we see in this move, because before now positions were actually very tense, with each person trying to justify their position, can we see in this gesture as the beginning of concessions from the government?
Not only from the government, a concession from both sides. Now, if
when you see concessions from both sides, what is the concession that has been done by the other side?
Now, the first thing is for the armed separatist members to make a step by coming to the dialogue and apologizing to the public. I think it's concession.
Yeah, the ringleaders say they don't recognize some of these guys.
Fine. Now, but those who have advanced have recognized the fact that there is need for peace and need for unity again, and need for Cameroonians to live like one and another. So I look at them as that. I look at that step as being one of the consensus they've done. And the next thing I see government doing again is the release of the government has done the release of some of the detainees who were supposed to be tried in the military court for misdemeanor offenses. I don't want to question what misdemeanor offenses are doing in the military tribunal. But I think here the most important thing is that the head of state has waded in like the father of the state and like the guarantor of peace to discontinue the proceedings against some of them. But like I said before, it is a good consensus, and many more will come, even from the other camp. So I look at the situation as probably being ameliorated now. But it would have really been more accelerated if we had the big fishes, which we all know. If they were given liberty, if they were set free, I think the machinery would have been more faster than what we expect now. Because I don't think the people down there, the population out there is ready to continue to live in fear and in this wanton destruction that is happening. So I believe that they are of the opinion that this whole thing should stop so that they can live their normal lives as before.
Yeah, again, the concessions that I feel both parties have to do is one, let the government release Atletico and 9 other jails. Let the government demilitarize the Northwest and the Southwest zone.
Yeah, but my question was whether this was not the beginning of the concessions.
On the other side, let the Amber Boys lay down their arms. Let the Amber Boys lay down their arms and let there be a truce between the Amber Boys and the government. Let the arms and let there be a truce between the Amber Boys and government. Because if they don't lay down their arms, or if they don't lay down their arms, or even say go on ceasefire, with this gesture, the president has respected one of the demand by releasing 333. They too are supposed to correspondingly respect, show some sign of good gesture that the president has heard their plea, honor their demand. They too should declare ceasefire or lay down their arms so that the president can continue with his good gesture of releasing all these Anglophones detained in prison, whether sentenced or not sentenced.
I think that is the plea.
Yeah.
The plea should be for as many of them to lay their arms as possible, and that has, we understand that it is already in progress. The other day, on the first day, we had about 3 or half of them. No, there were 30 of them who came, and additionally we had about 5 again who came the next day, and today there are about 29 who were ferried from Bamenda. It tells you already that the call for them to lay down arms is already, and a call for dialogue is already provoking some degree of acceptance from the other camp. I think though we are not totally satisfied with the slow response to it. Our appeal is that the other side, the camp or the separatist camp, should accelerate or should probably move faster with this idea of being disarmed and join the normal life. So we as Mohammed was saying a couple of minutes ago, we wish to see this very positive consensus from both sides, that it should be faster, because time is for nobody. A lot of destruction has been done, and if the more we delay in seeking for lasting solutions to the more havoc will be wreaked in these areas. So if the consensus are supposed to be done, we saw the alacrity with which the national dialogue is holding, and the resolutions that have quickly been arrived at. I think it is time for faster actions to be done, faster implementation of some of the resolutions that will be taken there, and of course the consensus we are talking about, that it should be faster, and let's see it being done, so that at the end of the day, the people of the Northwest and Southwest region would smile back and also have their peace that is needed for the forward movement of this country, Cameroon.
Okay. Do we foresee further clemency in the future?
Yes, this is what I'm saying, that let the Amber Boys reciprocate this good gesture of the president. Let them lay down their arms or declare ceasefire. Let the government see some positive sign of good faith on the part of the Amber Boys. I think the government will go an extra mile, extra length to see that most of those detained are released. It's a continuous process. So it's not a one-sided affair. As the government is doing its own good gesture, let them too reciprocate the government gesture and lay down their arms and declare ceasefire. No more kidnappings, no more hijacking, no more standing on the road disturbing people. All those security people, they come to the government will know that these Amber Boys now have begun to reason positively, and he will continue. The government may continue with the release of some of the Anglophone detainees.
Okay. Do you think that there should be some reciprocity from the others, talking about the armed separatists,
Certainly.
to further push the government to do more?
Certainly, because when government extends a hand of fellowship, I think it should be taken with all humility, with all humility and respect and gratitude. So we also expect that they should also reciprocate, respond by doing, by carrying out, or by doing what is expected of them, laying down arms, and of course stopping or probably suspending the high kidnapping rates and those arbitrary destruction that has been tacked with them. If this is done, we will see, we will realize that the government will be pushed, will be motivated to even do many more better things. I'm sure. I believe that if the issue is reciprocal, government will not relate to at least get some other people who are considered as high profile detainees also released by clemency. The president said that he has the latitude. The Constitution gives him that latitude to operate within that, and why not also grant the clemency? So we can also expect many more things from them.
Good evening in the studio. I have, and I will still tell you that those people claiming to be ex-Amber Boys are fake. Even if they are those who were terrorizing and molesting the civilians. General Born to Kill from Oku. Okay, wow. General Born to Kill. Right, so that is what you think.
Okay.
According to Oxford, dialogue is a formal discussion between two groups or countries in trying to solve problems. Okay, if this is the definition, dialogue, then what is Cameroon up to? The Anglophone crisis of two groups, the government and the separatists. Mr. Mohammed, why have you started talking with water in your mouth?